Hello there, health coaches. How's everybody doing today? I am broadcasting live here from my home where I just returned from a wild and wacky trip to the grocery store with my two boys. They were upstairs screaming at each other. And well, this is just the way it goes these days, isn't it? But nonetheless, I'm here with you for our weekly Q&A. So if you're here with me live and you have any questions for me as we go through today's episode, feel free to put them in the chat area and I'll be keeping an eye on that. I thought that today we should start talking about, the elephant in the room. The economy is certainly taking a hit right now. Health coaches, but really everyone in every profession is a little bit concerned about what's going on right now. All I have to say is I love being self-employed because I don't have to worry about getting laid off or furloughed like so many of my friends that have corporate jobs. So even though you might feel like, wow, now's like not a good time to be starting my business or now's not a great time to be a health coach, actually, you're in a much better position than you would be in if you thought you had all the job security in the world and then boom, got let go. So I love being in control of my destiny in that way. And while we may need to get a little creative and do things a little differently during this time, we can still proceed to earn money. And that's a wonderful thing. So I noticed a lot of questions in our group over the past week related to bits and bots, odds and ends, all these little pieces that have to do with the money that we are either spending or earning in our business. So I thought, let's kind of put all of those together. And today we'll just talk about all different ways to make sure that you're not spending too much or making sure that you can bring in income here and there, like all the little amounts that add up. It's like the piggy bank approach. And then I think next week we're going to get into talking about the bigger bucks. But for anyone who's ever done a budget for yourself, just for your personal budget or for your business, you know how much money can sort of leak through the cracks or how little bit of savings every week can really add up. So that's what I want to concentrate on today. So let's see here. We have a question from Jenna. And Jenna said, I'm going to be launching my first paid program next week. And I'm wondering if anyone has used the e-commerce tool in Wix and did it work well? And does anyone have any other recommendations for accepting payment? So Jenna, I've never used the e-commerce tool within Wix. From anything I've ever heard, I think it would be fine. I haven't heard any complaints about it. But I wanted to just answer the second part of your question about recommendations for accepting payment. Because what I've noticed is that because we live in a pretty advanced world, I guess what I'm saying is when you buy something online, you think it has to have all the bells and whistles, like you're going to get an automatic email and immediate access to whatever you've purchased, and it's going to be somewhere where you have to log in and you will have lifetime access to it. It can get really quite complicated, but we don't have to operate that way as health coaches. We can do things a little more down and dirty, as they say, and that may actually be more appropriate when you're first starting out. For example, my friend who is a yoga teacher, like so many, and I have another friend who teaches dance classes, they've just recently brought their services online and they are just saying, here's my PayPal link. And you are just supposed to PayPal them the amount that they're asking for, or here's my Venmo. And so actually right now people are doing a lot more sort of down and dirty online selling. So what I'm trying to say is don't get wrapped around the axle, making it all shiny and perfect, because there's just no reason to do that when you're first starting out. And really ever, the only reason that you want to make your technology more complicated ever is because it's actually going to save you time on the back end. So for example, my very first group program that I ever ran, I definitely just had people pay me through PayPal. I had a PayPal button somewhere on my website. And when I saw that the money came in, I would then manually email them the information that they needed for the group program. So if somebody signed up at 11 o'clock at night and I was asleep and I didn't see it till 9 o'clock the next morning, that's when they got their email. Now the world moves a little more quickly these days, but I want you to consider these more low-tech alternatives because it will save you a lot of effort and even money and certainly time figuring things out if you could just do it like the easy way. So my recommendation is typically to use PayPal for your transactions online. And here's why. Number one, it's just easy, right? They have what you need. You can send an invoice. You can get a PayPal button, whatever. It's there, it's done. And this is the clincher, I have found that most of my clients are most comfortable with PayPal. So if I say, here's a PayPal link or here's a PayPal button, they're used to that because PayPal is sort of like industry standard. Even like websites, like if you're gonna, buy clothes online and stuff like that, oftentimes there's a PayPal option these days. So PayPal puts people at ease. They know what it is, they've heard of it, and it's not scary to them. Depending on your target market, you may find people are more or less worried about paying for things online, right? An older crowd is probably going to be more conservative. A younger crowd will just Venmo you something right there from their app. But I find that PayPal is just the most accessible to most people. And when I do get any pushback on PayPal, it's usually someone saying, I don't have a PayPal account, to which I say, you don't need a PayPal account, just any major credit card, which is true, and that's a wonderful thing. So all in all, I find it to solve the problem just the easiest, fastest way. Now, I know the next thing that everybody gets into is like the fees. Like, what are the fees? What are the fees? If you are using something like Wix, I'm not sure about Wix in particular, but if you are using a shopping cart service and a payment processor like PayPal, and a payment processor like Stripe, sometimes you get hit with two fees. You'll get hit with the fee from the shopping cart service itself, whatever that costs you every month or per transaction, and there is a payment processor fee. But if you just use a PayPal button, you're only gonna get the one fee. So like for my time and effort and money, I think that PayPal is overall the way to go. That is my recommendation to you. There are lots of other ways that you can do this. You could use Stripe, you can use Square, you can use Venmo, and lots of different online tools like shopping cart tools. But like I said, you really want to make sure that you're just not getting hit with double fees. That is a good way to leak money through the cracks. Anyway, I hope that helps, Jenna. If you do go with Wix and it works out well for you, great. If you go with PayPal and that works out well for you, awesome. The point is just get her done. All right, what other questions you guys have for me today on this idea of every little bit counts when it comes to earning money, collecting money, saving money, and spending money in our business? Here's a question that I thought was interesting. This came from Emma, and she says, has anyone successfully used a Facebook group as a paid membership where folks pay a monthly access fee? So this is interesting on a couple of levels. Number one, just this idea of like, would people pay to be part of a Facebook group? I'm not sure, Emma, I'm not sure. You would have to be offering something in that Facebook group that I could not get anywhere else, because Facebook groups are a freely available thing, right? Like 99.9% of the time. So it would be very hard to justify like why I'm going to sign up for your, let's say, healthy living Facebook group when there are 5 million others. So it would have to be something that's so very specific to who I am and what I need that I can't, get it in a different group for someone to pay to be part of your group. You can run a membership where people pay a monthly fee to be part of whatever you're giving them. Facebook group, it could be you do some sort of like, you do a class once a month, you release new content once a month, whatever it is that you're doing for a membership. So that's one thing. Yes, you can run a membership. Yes, a Facebook group could be part of it. But if it's just a Facebook group, I'm a little leery about whether or not that would work. But as always, prove me wrong. What else did I want to say about this? Memberships are difficult in general. So I think the statistic that I have read and that I've experienced is that when somebody signs up for a membership, meaning it's just an ongoing thing, it's not like 6 payments. It's like they're going to sign up and they're just going to continue paying you every month until they cancel. People will typically stay part of your membership for 2 to 3 months, which means either you need to do something very right in order for them to stay longer, or you need to constantly be generating new members. So that means you are always, always, always in the selling mode and trying to get people into your membership, and then you lose them after a couple months, but you have new ones coming in. So it can be a lot of hustle for not a lot of money if you don't have a very large audience to draw from. Now, of course, like I said, the other thing is maybe you're doing something really right inside your membership. And what that usually entails is taking people on a journey. So if it's just kind of like, hey, belong to my fruit of the month club, and every month I'm going to send you some fruit. People will do that 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Maybe they really like your fruit. They do it a couple more months, and then they, that's enough. I don't need to spend money on this anymore. And it can be the same way. Maybe you're like, oh, month 1, we're going to talk about cooking with kids, and month 2, we're going to talk about, something else. Or maybe it's just a random assortment of what comes up every day in your membership. That tends to not work as well as if there is a defined goal. So people are going to be working through a process with you until they reach that goal over the course of however many months. And then maybe there's like a new arc to your group. So it keeps people from kind of reconsidering their payment every month if they know they're doing something over like a longer span of time with you. I hope that makes sense. But if it's just random information, random content being generated on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, expect a lot of drop off. Sun, thank you for asking a question. I see here that you're saying, does it cost money to take money on Practice Better? So that is an exact example of what I was just talking about, where if for those of you using Practice Better, and Practice Better is a tool that many of us are using to both schedule our clients, collect money from our clients, even like run group programs, all kind of stuff. It's great. Practice Better is, I'm going to call it the shopping cart service. It's so much more than that, but that is where the money, where the transaction happens. Whereas you need to connect Practice Better, like my Practice Better is connected to Stripe. So Stripe is the payment processor. There's a fee there. Practice Better does not, to my knowledge, unless things have changed, but I believe they do not take a fee on top of the Stripe processing fee. So, and that's just one of many reasons that we heart Practice Better. And so if anyone wants to check that out, by the way, you can go to healthcoachpower.com/practice. It is a phenomenal tool and not that expensive every month for what you get, which is a lot. Great question. Okay, I got another one here from Anna Marie. She said, I am putting together a workshop via Zoom. I would like to offer an outline to those who sign up. What venue do I have them sign up? Facebook, MailChimp, she wants to collect emails. Where can I have the outline for attendees to download from? So a lot of moving parts here. I'm going to try to streamline this whole question for you, Anne Marie. So first is, are you charging? If you're holding a workshop and you're charging for it, then you're going to have people sign up like we were just talking about, like with a PayPal button or with some kind of shopping cart or whatever. You need to be able to collect the money. And when you collect the money, you would be collecting an email address at the same time, typically. So if that's the case, refer to everything that we just talked about. Otherwise, I think your question is, how do you get people to sign up for a workshop, like if it's free? So anything that you're doing for free as a list builder, you need to create an opt-in page. An opt-in page is typically going to be created within MailChimp if you're using MailChimp, because they have the ability to allow, you can write within MailChimp, create those landing pages. So that's great. ConvertKit, same thing. You can create a landing page within the service that you're already signed up for. So that's awesome. In my case, I use lead pages for my opt-ins. So anytime you sign up for something, you have to type in your first name and your email address, and then you hit the button. Like that's the opt-in page. So you have different options there, but like if you're using MailChimp, I would just go ahead and use MailChimp for your opt-in page. That way you can collect the email address. And then regardless of which of these systems you're using, what will happen, you'll have to set this up, is that once the email is collected, it triggers an automated response. And that automated response would have the information like the Zoom link, for example. Or in your case, you want to give them an outline, I would just attach it to that automated email. So as soon as they sign up, boom, they receive an email with the link to download whatever it is that you want to give them. And it's a nice idea. When you're holding a workshop online, you could also sometimes offer like a workbook or like a place where people can take notes, but it's formatted, it matches your presentation just to keep them engaged with you. Anything like that, you could just include in that first welcome email. However, if you're charging money, you will have to do this in a slightly different way. You would not be able to use MailChimp for that. I hope that helps. I know there's a lot of like moving parts when you start putting together online programs, but you will do it once. It will feel like madness. Then you will do it again. You'll have a better idea of how it goes down. You will make mistakes. And after a while, like I can just crank these out like nothing because we've done it so many times. But I know in the beginning, it feels like a lot of moving parts. You got this. You got this, Anna Marie. What other questions do we have about money, money, money? Jean said, I occasionally get requests from clients who live in other countries, like Ireland, Italy, India, etc. It's not enough to invest in an international calling plan. Does anyone have alternative suggestions? Yeah, there's so many different ways to do it these days, Jean. It's awesome. I remember, oh, when was that? Early in my career. It had to be 10 years ago. I had a client in Israel, and I was like, oh my God. So one thing to consider, because it just felt so great. Now I have clients all over the world on the regular, and I'm very used to the whole idea. But I remember this first client in Israel. And so two things. One would be the call, like how are you going to connect with them? So I would just use Skype, or you could use Zoom, right? I actually have let's see, what do I do with Skype? I have a Skype phone number that I actually use for all of my clients because it just keeps it separated from my regular phone number, my personal line. And also because the cell service in my house is not really great, so I'd rather call over Wi-Fi. So I use Skype calling. So anyway, I already have a package for that. But if it's outside and it's international, then we will just use straight up Skype video calling or a Zoom link. And I personally, I've probably talked about this before, I don't like using video chat for my sessions. I find it distracting. I feel like we're just looking up each other's nostrils the whole time. So I just use either Skype or Zoom audio only. But the other thing to consider when you have international clients is that there's going to be additional fees on their payments, right? So if like you have a client within the US and you use PayPal, I don't know what the fee is, whatever percentage, we know however it works, but it is definitely more when you have a client overseas. And I just want to say this, in general, you guys, payment processor fees, it's just the cost of doing business. Do not get wrapped around the axle over how you're losing 1% here or $5 there on this fee. It's just the cost of doing business. Trying to avoid the fees is not worth it. It's not a scalable solution. So if someone sends you money, you're just like, yes, they paid. That's awesome. And yes, a slice of that is always going to go to the payment processor for the convenience. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, even if it's an overseas client. Now, if you were working with overseas clients all the time and you were losing thousands and thousands of dollars that way, then you might consider increasing your fee, just build it into the price of your program because you know you're going to be paying that. But if it's one here, one there, just let it go. It's not worth your time and effort. Let it go. Same thing happens sometimes when you get paid. Like let's say, and we're going to talk about affiliates in just a second. Let's say you're an affiliate for a brand and then the payout comes from them. So they're paying you, I don't know, a couple $100 at the end of the month that you've earned from your affiliate. There's going to be a PayPal fee taken off the top of that. And that's just life. That's just life. When I pay even members of my staff through PayPal, there's a percentage taken off the top. It's just the cost of doing business. Don't worry about it. Sun says, can you write off fees for accepting money? Okay, so if you, let's say, oh gosh, I'm trying to keep the math easy for myself. Like, let's say you earned $100 in affiliate fees or whatever, anybody is paying you $100, but PayPal takes, what do they take? $1 or $2 out of that? So then you only get like $98. So yes, you won't pay tax on 100. You'll pay tax on the amount you actually collected. How that all works in accounting land, I'm not sure, but yes. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It all comes out in the wash. I know it's the kind of thing that will drive you batty if you think about it too much. Get on with your life. Get on with your business. You got bigger things to worry about than those $2. Okay, so I mentioned affiliate, and that's a great lead into this next question from Julie. She says, I'm looking into some good affiliate programs, like health and beauty, something all natural, no chemicals, maybe good quality bioavailable supplements. So affiliate marketing, something I talk about fairly often because I love it. I think it really serves a purpose in health coach's repertoire of income streams without overtaking your whole business. So I first want to draw a distinction between MLM and an affiliate program. And then there are lots of companies that kind of want to be in between. They don't want to be considered an MLM, but they are, or they're really close to it, because they're not affiliate programs. So an affiliate program is super simple. You're saying, I'm going to refer people to your product, or in the case of like Amazon, I'm going to refer people to Amazon to buy whatever product, whatever brand, and I'm going to earn a percentage off of any sales that get made. Great. And then that's it. If you promote it once, cool. If somebody buys once, awesome. If you never do it at all, nobody cares. If you do it all the time and you make a ton of money, good for you. Also, nobody really cares. It's totally up to you. It's on your terms. Zero obligations. That is what I love about affiliate marketing, because sometimes I will promote a product pretty heavily for a while and then I don't. Or I decide I actually don't like it anymore for whatever reason and I let it go. You know, easy come, easy go when it comes to affiliate marketing. And it's always on your terms because it's your business. And that's how I like to operate. Now, other companies that you can sign up to be I don't know what they call, a partner, a rep, a whatever. Basically the MLMs is when you are like, sometimes you have to buy product up front. Sometimes you have to make a certain number of sales to stay like part of the system. So you often have to build a team underneath you and you are part of a team, right? Your upline and your downline and all this kind of stuff. And that's all part of how you're making money. It's much more complicated and there's a lot more pressure on you. Like I hear this all the time, like my upline was pressuring me to make more sales. And these are the types of situations that I 9 times out of 10 see it take over a health coach's business, where they're not even doing health coaching anymore. They're just selling essential oils or whatever it is. So it's not that you shouldn't do it, but you should be aware of the difference and the commitment involved with each. So Julie's asking about affiliate programs here. I actually have a freebie for you. And I'm going to put a link to it in the show notes for this episode so that you can download it if you want. It's all different brands that offer a true affiliate program that either I'm a part of or I have, read through it and I feel like it would make a very good fit for a health coaching business. So like natural skincare, food delivery services, different things like that. So I'm going to put that in the show notes as soon as I'm done recording so that you guys can check that out if you like. But whenever you use a brand, get in the habit of checking out their website and to see if they have an affiliate program. And I've done this so many times. Like there's a brand of makeup that I really love. So I'll go, oftentimes it's in the footer. Sometimes there will be a link that says affiliates. Sometimes it's under FAQs. Sometimes you just have to email the company and ask, hey, do you have an affiliate program? And then they'll kind of hook you up with the information. The reason this whole affiliate question works into today's episode is because you're not going to make thousands and thousands of dollars through affiliate sales, particularly when your business is small, when your mailing list is small, when your audience is small. But you could make $10 here, $30 there, $100 there. And over the course of the year, these things do add up. The way that I think about it is this. If I'm going to recommend the product anyway, because I am, because I love the products that I'm an affiliate for, I use them, my clients are going to ask me about them anyway, I might as well make a percentage, even if it is a very small percentage, or even if only 1 out of 100 people actually buys the thing from my affiliate link. it's still worth it to me. So just get in that habit of like go through like your makeup bag or your kitchen. Often it's the smaller to mid-sized companies that are going to offer an affiliate program. You know, you can't be an affiliate for like Whole Foods or I don't know, you know, like a really big company, but you for all these like sort of smaller, more independent brands, you often can be. So having a bunch of those as part of your repertoire is an amazing way to supplement your income. And as your business grows, I can attest to the fact that I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars through affiliate sales through the years. So it's not something to scoff at, even though in the beginning it can be funny because you'll be like, awesome, I made 30 cents. But play the long game, and you will see it pay off. All right, I'm going to answer one more question. This one's just kind of like from a different area of health coaching, because every now and then I like to insert a little bit of like, what would you do working with a client, and get away from the businessy talk. So sometimes in these episodes, I like to just choose one so that we can noodle on it a little bit. And I'd like to hear what you would do in this situation. Lots of different answers to the question that this health coach posed. And this was from Christy. She said, have any of you worked with clients with joint pain? What type of holistic treatment, remedy, or solutions were helpful for them? And would food allergy testing help in this case? So, Christy, I don't know what level of training you've gone through, right? So depending on who you are and what your certifications are and what training you're done, you know, there's all different ways to approach when we have a client in this sort of situation. So I just want to reiterate that for everybody, the basics are going to take care of most problems. And it is amazing, and it is true time and time again. If you can get this person to eat less sugar, for example, they're going to have less inflammation in their body. It's very possible that the joint pain is going to lessen all on its own. If you can get somebody to drink less coffee and drink more water, I mean, amazing things will happen. So don't discount the basics. I don't know if you've gone through that with your client yet, but absolutely start there. Sometimes you can reduce somebody's symptoms immediately. Sometimes maybe the pain goes down by like 50% or something like that, just with the basics. However, this question reminded me of a particular client I had who had very big problems with joint pain. She was going to get, you know, the, what is that called? The cortisone injections. And she was taking tons and tons of painkillers every day just to get through. And by the time we were done working together a few months later, she was taking like maybe an Advil once a week. Like her pain diminished dramatically. And the biggest change that we made, because she was already gluten-free, she was already dairy-free, she already didn't eat very much sugar, is we took out nightshade vegetables. And I'm not saying that that is like a panacea for all joint pain for all people, but that made a major, major difference for her. So it's just a matter of educating her about what the nightshade vegetables are, helping her sort through like, oh my gosh, what am I going to eat at Thanksgiving dinner if I'm not going to have mashed potatoes? And when she got past that, it was like smooth sailing from there. So there's my little health coaching tip of the day. I hope that's helpful for anybody. Maybe you can make good use of that, or maybe just do a little more research into nightshade vegetables yourself. But there's little anecdotal evidence that it can work in some situations. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap up for today because I can hear my boys wrestling upstairs on the couch a little too close to the lamp. That's just like the mother in me. I can sense that even from a floor away. They're too close to the lamp. I hope that you are all having a great week, and I'll be back next week to talk more about making money. Take care, everybody.